it's my take on a fictitious layout somewhere in the Highlands, which has been reclaimed by enthusiasts. And as a result, I can run anything I like on it, which is what model railways are all about, let's face it. I must apologise, gentlemen, that there's a lot of clutter on this because I was working on it at the time. You get an idea of what I'm working on. The other thing I would say is there's not an awful lot of space between the layout and either wall because of the amount of clutter I've got in the garage. So that's one of the reasons why the film is rather shaky. Apart from the station building, which is a kit, the engine shed, which is a kit, and the signal box, which was a kit I got commissioned from a guy to make up the parts for me. Everything else is scratch built by my fair hand, out of cardboard, plastic, and coffee stirrers. This is the railway bridge at as the public look at the far right, or as I like to think of it, the north end of the line. I modelled the style of bridge on the bridge at Annie's Land Station, although it's only single track. It's all made out of bits of plastic card and plaststrut. But at least it's got some structure to it, unlike some of the bridges you see on layouts. Loco shed is quite a tight fit. In fact, for some of the locos, I had to pare a bit back on the workbench there that just clears the running plate. I fitted a laser totty, so when the roof's on, I know when there's a loco inside the engine shed. And I've got the welder in the back there with the new style welding with a prolonged run of white light before the arcing white light, that is, before the red glow comes into play. I'm thinking more of a sort of picnic site on the distillery We've got a couple there. I don't know whether he's trying to impress a young lady, the wee kiddie up top of the tractor, playing with it, and the other couple with their camper van. Over on the other side of the track, kids who are going to be waving to the trains as they run past, the engine drivers, and the guy in the Morris Traveller waiting for the gates to open so he can get across into the distillery. Here we have the welder working away at his bench, building a snowplow for a class 37, I think, or a class 26, something like that. Having worked for Drumnadrookit Model, I've labelled up a van with the Arrows logos and publicity. And I've got 3 of Arrows workmen. They're round the brazier. They've got a wee problem on the site before they start work, as they always have on site. And here's the Land Rover with the flashing lights, courtesy of Merg. So the army have turned up at the distillery to pick up some supplies, and lo and behold, the truck's broken down. And one of the local engineers is having a look inside the bonnet to see if he can assist. Meanwhile, there's a problem with the drains, and we have the guy down the drain doing the good job while his foreman berates him about something. And here we have the yard crane. I've motorised this so it will swing through 180 degrees. Unfortunately, I had the crane built before I joined Merg, so this was a case of trying to make it work once it had been built. So now it'll only swing. Had I been building it from scratch, I would have made sure I could use it and motorise it so it could lift. Unfortunately, it won't, it just swings. Here we can see it swinging. The man moves with it. So you could use this either to load a truck at the side of the layout there at the end of the ramp, or to load a wagon, or to offload a wagon or truck, either way. This was the still room under construction. Still got a lot of pipe work to do there and people to add. The still itself is made from cardboard, and to go right back to my drafting skills to figure out how to do a development of the shape. The only bit that's real, in fact, real copper, is the basic tube of the condenser at the back there. I cut a bit of 10mm copper pipe for that. The rest is all cardboard and painted copper, obviously. That's it as it is today, with the spirit safe in the background there on the right, and a lot more people. And down in the bottom, I've got one of the guides showing the people around and displaying the wares, the final bottle. Pipe work at the back there, back right, there's a ball valve on it. That's made with a bead, a bit of wire and a hand wheel. The roof trusses made from coffee stirrers. The rest is all cardboard. Here we have the loading bay. Barrels all lined up, ready to be rolled out to the waiting wagons. 2 PAL vans you can see through the doors. Angus rolling the barrel along the platform. Bob and his pal George sitting there having a coffee break. Decided the van needed animation. This is what it all came down to. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if the doors could open? What a job that was. Right, the problem was getting power from the track, and what I used was a couple of DCC or DC concepts pickups for 00, flatten them out, and they run on the inside rim of the wheels. Very fiddly to fit retrospectively, I must admit, and if I was doing it again, I think I would fit these beforehand, before I put all the brake gear in. But that's a lesson learned. Once you fit it all in, you've got 2 servo motors with their linkages and 2 servo controllers. Doesn't leave a lot of room. So this is the first variation of it, I must admit. It gets even more complicated as I went on. Sorry about the shaky video, but you get the idea of it. Problem was, there's no delay with that. And I thought it'd be nice if I could have one door opening and then the other. So I spoke to a certain gentleman in Merg, and we had another go at it. Here's another view of it.
What we're trying to do, gents, was put together with the easy points already on his van to operate the servos. Gordon wanted to have an LED in the track, in the siding, that when it lit up, the doors would open. That's what would actually activate the doors. So the power came through the wheels to power all this, but the switching mechanism would be a light detector. So what we came up with is a little board that would have the LDR on one side, and it would switch on and another LED at the top, you see there, to illuminate the van. And then it would open up one door, have a little delay, and open the second door, so it looked more realistic. And similarly, when Gordon would extinguish the lead that's in the track, the detector would spot that, and the doors would close one after the other, and the lights would go out. I made up this little board, and this is the video that I sent to Gordon just to see whether it suited him. Hey Gordon, this is the module. That's the pick chip. That's the little trimmer to adjust the sensitivity for the light level you've got. My thumb's covering up the light detector. That's meant to be the light that will illuminate inside the van. These 2 LEDs are just to show that the 2 outputs, these yellow wires, do change state. So they would be going not to lights, they'd be going normally to your easy points. And that's just the power here. So if I let go of the LDR, that's the same thing as you shining light on it. The light comes on, one of them operates, and after 3 seconds, the other operates. So both doors are open and the light's on inside the van. If I now put the light off, both doors close and the light goes off.
So here's what it looks like now. I've stuck the delayed timer chip and it's moored up on the roof just with a heated glue gun. The light's there as well with a cup screw washer around it in case somebody wanted to complain. I've also doctored up the attachment to the doors because I thought the plastic ones I had were a bit muckle. And that's what it looks like now. we were looking through the building out onto the track. And there's the wagon. And there you have Drumnadrookit, gentlemen. Any questions?